What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're going to jump in with a bunch of Destiny 2 Forsaken stuff to talk about. So we got some pretty interesting stuff in this one. The cycle of content and the story in the Dreaming City has actually continued this week. We'll speak about that in a moment. On top of this, there is a new mystery wish in the Last Wish raid, and it looks like this one has the potential to drop a pretty cool reward when someone figures it out. We're going to talk about upcoming exotics, rumors, even more new Arms Day vendors, and a bunch of future DLC content. Then we'll touch on some new challenges in the raid, a new competition that Bungie is running with Rockstar energy drinks, and a bunch of other stuff, guys. So if you do enjoy this video, a rating below is very much appreciated. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit subscribe to see a lot more Destiny content. But for now, let's get straight into it. So firstly, this week inside of Dreaming City, the curse cycle has actually reset. So we're back to week 1 of the curse. And so a lot of the week 1 curse content has actually returned to the game, although some of it does have updated dialogue. So if you're running things like the Broken Courier mission, the characters in the mission, especially the Corsair, actually realize that the city is stuck in a time loop. And so the Awoken are sort of realizing what's happening. And this realization is essentially the beginning of the long tail story that Bungie teased about, which will lead us to future content. And we know that Savathun is actually attempting to use the Dreaming City to build up energy, and Karud, the arrival of her daughter to the Dreaming City, is part of that. And Karud is essentially trying to find her way into the Distributory, which is another of the Awoken homeworlds, because inside of the Distributory, time is actually believed to move faster, and so Savathun is attempting to use that to actually gain power more quickly, and that's kind of a loose explanation of what is happening in the Dreaming City right now. But it will ultimately lead to new content, because there are a ton of classified objectives for Dreaming City, as well as a bunch of objectives to unlock the different lore books inside of Truth to Power. So when those objectives become clear, it will probably lead us to new content. Maybe much like the Ascendant challenges and the other kind of bubble locations and missions in Dreaming City, we could potentially actually visit the Distributory at some point, but that is anybody's guess right now. Up next though, it appears that the 13th wish has been found inside of the Last Wish raid. So Sneaky Beaver right here on Twitter shared a screenshot of the icons that you'll need to actually put the key in. We do know what this key does, so once the key is activated, any death inside of that raid will actually reset it and take the team to orbit. So essentially, what it requires is a team to do a flawless run, and as of yet, I don't believe anyone has actually done that. So once the run has been completed, with this particular key activated, it's possible that there would be an additional chest at the end of the raid for actually doing a flawless clear. Maybe it would increase the drop rate of the 1,000 voices, or it could indeed drop a new piece of loot. But I thought I'd give you guys a heads up about that. The 13th wish does require you to clear the entire raid without dying, and it looks like there will be some kind of secret or reward at the end. Sneaky did also confirm though that to even unlock the plate to find the actual key, you must open all 24 chests after defeating Riven inside of one raid. So essentially everyone is going to have to pull up a bunch of keys. In order to do that, of course, we now have the plate key, so thanks to the fire team who did it first. But as to that reward at the very end, it does make it feel even more likely that it will be something significant. If we get any further details, I will keep you guys posted. But on the subject of the keys that you can get from the Last Wish, so the Ethereal key or the Glittering key, unlike the Leviathan keys, these actually don't reset on the weekly reset, so any keys that you have and you're holding onto, you can keep. There is a chest that you can spawn after Morgoth using one of the Wishwall codes, and if you have the Glittering key, you can actually put it into the chest, and you are able to obtain the raid ship, as well as some other cosmetic items. Now though, considering we have a slightly quieter week inside of the game, I wanted to round up some stuff about upcoming content, some of which we have spoken about recently. So of course there was the Reddit post from Anon9, and this user has actually leaked a bunch of Destiny 2 information before various releases, especially Forsaken. They spoke about the locations and the new supers before the DLC was actually revealed, and you can still see these posts in their Reddit history, but they teased that the Thunderlord is coming back as part of Festival of the Lost, that there was a new Horde mode inside of the Black Armory, where the higher you score, the better the loot will be, and they also teased that the last word would return in Black Armory, but then they later removed that post, which is pretty unusual, so take it with a pinch of salt. But this user, who has revealed information about the DLC and been correct in the past, has said all of these things, so we'll have to wait and find out. Festival of the Lost is something we'll hear about very soon, so we'll get an idea as to whether that one's true. But then we do know that, of course, Black Armory itself will be packed with interesting exotics, such as the new exotic sniper they showed on screen, an exotic railgun that the employee is working on, as well as the vendor for Black Armory. Next though, there is actually a new competition with Destiny and Rockstar Energy. This starts on October 7th. Bungie did post a trailer for this, so let's check it out. So obviously there are a bunch of really cool prizes right there. You can actually enter the competition by playing inside of Crucible, Gambit, or Strikes. And essentially the top 4 ranking players for each of the different activity types will be able to win the top prize. That includes a trip to Bungie. But of course there are a bunch of other prizes that you can get as well. You can get the codes from the cannons, which can give you emblems and unlocks in game. There are other prizes if you rank highly in the leaderboards during the competition. So it looks like it's going to be pretty interesting stuff. I'll link the Rockstar Energy website down below so you guys can check it out, but do bear in mind that starts up on the 7th of October. Inside of the game though, there is a new raid challenge available, and you can pick up a bounty from Hawthorne that gives you powerful gear if you can complete this inside of the raid. But essentially it's a Shuro Chi challenge, and the objective is to not get hit by her Taken Bolt ability. So she actually has 2 different attacks. There's one that boops you up and away from her, and then there's another bolt that actually just does damage. And essentially you have to avoid her damage bolt for the entire encounter to actually do the challenge, and that will unlock you the loot from the bounty, as well as some more progress on the weekly raid challenges, which will ultimately reward an emblem if you can complete all of them. So that's just a quick explanation of that. Yesterday I spoke about some new kind of arms dealers, and these are different vendors which appear to be linked exclusively to particular weapon foundries. They're currently unavailable in game, but it seems likely that they could be part of the Arms Week event that we know is coming to the game in the future, or as part of future DLC, maybe the Black Armory. But there is Hector9940 I spoke about who sells Hake weapons, and his inventory consists of a bunch of different Hake stuff. You've also got Viper8840, which sells Viced weapons, and then Shinchu, who sells Soros items, as well as Octavius, who sells Omelon items. So there is a hidden vendor kind of in the database for each of the different weapon foundries. They're not currently active in the game, but like I said, seems likely that we'll get them for either an Arms Week event or in the upcoming DLC. There are also classified vendors in the database. Once again, these will be for upcoming content. Couple of Bungie social roundups right here. Cosmo responded to some feedback and said that the team have heard that players would be interested in seeing a daily login bonus, kind of similar to what you'd have in Monster Hunter World. So that's something that Bungie will potentially work on in the future. I guess the Prime Engram buff is a daily bonus somewhat similar to this, but additional drops I think definitely could be pretty interesting. On the subject of some of the Crucible quests, Kevin Yanis on Twitter did say that any rank related objective can be completed anytime during the season, and it will count once you hit a step that requires it. So making Valor progress during the early steps still makes progress towards the later step. This is also true of Glory. The quests will look at your current season's high watermark, hit Fabled or Legend, and it won't matter if you decay down, the quests will keep that high watermark for reference once you get those steps. And he also confirmed that resets still count towards the Broadsword quest before you hit the cap for that reset. So essentially you do need 5 resets to get the Broadsword, but you can do those any time during the season. Even if you're not on that particular stage, it will count the number of resets that you've actually done in Season 4. So just a bit of further clarification about how those Crucible quests work. On the subject of feedback though, Bungie have also said that they're looking at the economy around Masterwork cores, mod components, the drop rates of exotics, and feedback regarding things like the spawn rate for the Malfeasance boss. So I'd anticipate probably in the next couple of weeks we'll see another patch for the game. Final couple of things I wanted to mention. Bungie rewards inside of the Bungie store now have a new Ace of Spades replica. It isn't a full-size Ace of Spades, but you can pick it up in the Bungie store. You do need to have acquired the Ace of Spades in-game to actually get the discount, but if you're a collector, then this, as well as a new Ace of Spades quest shirt, will be available with that discount once you've actually completed the quest in-game. I'll link the Bungie store down below. One final shout is that, of course, with us being back on week 1, if you did miss any of the first week curse chests, so the Ascendant chests that you can pick up around the Dreaming City, if you're trying to do the Triumph or anything like that, then I'll link a video down below that has all of the locations for this week's chests. And like I said, unless you pick those up on the first week, then these ones will still be available for you to grab. For now though, guys, that is going to summarize today's video. Sorry if my voice sounds a bit dodgy. I do have the man flu essentially right now, so feeling super sorry for myself. But we couldn't stop the Destiny news train, could we? So let me know down below any of your thoughts on the stuff we've spoken about. If you have enjoyed the video, a like is very much appreciated. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit subscribe to see a lot more Destiny content. But for now, whatever you guys get up to, I hope you have an awesome day.